Just
sound.
kidding.
All right, he's good.
See, you were fine.
Go ahead, Ashley. We have we'll
Oh.
call it to order and go ahead and do a roll
Barely.
call for us.
Michael Brown,
Here.
Peter Dillingham,
Here.
Shannon Hanning,
Here.
Leonard McCullough,
Here.
Rob Seaman,
Here.
Looks like we've got a quorum.
Yep,
I
that's it.
thank you all for being here. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the Oklahoma flag salute.
Oh, there we go.
I pledge
pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in the Oklahoma flag salute. I salute the flag of the state of Oklahoma. Its symbols of peace unite all people. Please stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. Thanks everyone for being here. I know July's a hard time. A lot going on, summer activities, so appreciate your time. We've got several things to get through today. Unfortunately, Superintendent Fields couldn't be here today as well. But we'll go ahead and fill him in after we get several things done today. And I'm pretty excited. One of the comments I would make, but I'll let you hear from the group, is the presentations that we've got today. It's going to be really good to hear from both of those individuals, so I won't spoil any of that. I got to take part in FCCLA just for a moment while they were in DC, as I was also for the Education Commission of the States last week, and had a 3-day meeting there where we cover the policy that's going on in several states, which was really good for us. Again, second year in a row that the highlight really has been CTE and what's going on in the states and how they maximize CTE. Oklahoma was kind of featured, if you will, on several of the points of what's going on and how people are moving forward in CTE education, changing grad requirements was one of the things that was discussed. Giving opportunity for students to choose tech centers, things like that are a big discussion around the country. So it was really good to be there and see that leading discussion. So several other things that are going on right now. SREB conference is going on. We have a lot of people there, and schools from all over the state are attending as well, where we'll go through different presentations and see what's going on. But the Southern Region Education Board help set policy and do data work to show us trends in education of what's working well. And so it's a great conference for them to be at. And of course, I think I covered before, we just got done with a leadership retreat and the yearly superintendent's meeting. So this is our planning phase as we get through the summer to really figure out how we focus for the next school year. So we are also, I would mention, going to have a little more time for our budget request this year. We don't have to turn that in until at least November 1st. November 1st. So we've got a little more time where we can discuss that, hammer some details out, and be really strategic in what we asked from the legislature this year. So we'll be starting to go through that, though probably our next meeting will be the first time we really start talking about what it looks like. So I'll probably have something on the board agenda for that. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started, and we'll go into 1.04 is the discussion and possible action on the minutes of the June 18th, 2026 regular meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Actually, call for vote.
Rob Seaman,
Yes.
Leonard McCullough,
Yes.
Shannon Hanning,
Yes.
Michael Brown.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. We'll go to 2.01, and Brittany, you're up. We're going to talk about FCCLA or Holly, and whoever's starting. You got the sewing kits. Shay, it was not just you, but all of us got the sewing kits. So thank you, Brittany, for making
It's
sure
okay,
that
sewing
happened.
for all, right?
It comes in handy when I go to conferences. I got to have a sewing kit.
Good morning. My name is Holly Hannon. I am the manager for Family and Consumer Sciences. And we just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of information about what's going on in our division. And then I'm going to turn it over to Brittany Phillips and let her talk about FCCLA and all the exciting things that have been going on recently.
Right, trying to start it. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
So the first thing, I just wanted to introduce my staff to you. We do have 4 program specialists. This is how they are broken down in the region. Each program specialist works with about 120 teachers, and they are the boots on the ground, out actually working with our teachers, helping them to develop their programs and to continue to push forth what we want to do in family and consumer sciences. We also have 3 members in our office that are the backbone that keep us running. Tiffany Peters is our administrative assistant for the division. Ashley Hall is also an administrative assistant, but she also does our bookkeeping for FCCLA. So Brittany keeps her very busy. And then Hannah Brake is our student intern and works as a clerk for us part-time. And then Brittany and I, she'll tell you a little bit more about what she does, but like I said, I'm the manager for the division. At the end of last year, we had 446 programs. As you can see, the majority of our programs are K-12 programs. We have mainly 6th through 12th grade, but we do have a few 5th grade programs. So the last few years, we've added some 5th grade programs in the Oklahoma City area. So that's been kind of an exciting thing for us. Our programs continue to grow every year. We have, I think I counted up, we've got about 6 K-12 programs adding for next year, and about 4 or 5 technology center programs as well. Last year we ended with 46,781 students, and again, we are continuing to grow that because we've added programs every year. So we're pretty excited about that. And when Brittany talks to you a little bit about the affiliation numbers, you can see that correlation between our student enrollment and our affiliations for FCCLA. Family and Consumer Science is a little different because we cross over several different clusters when we are looking at the way our programs are set up. Our design programs, which are fashion design and interior design, are in that arts, entertainment, and design cluster. Under our education, we have everything from early care to our teacher prep programs, even the K-12. These are all K-12 and technology center programs. Under the hospitality, events, and tourism, that is our programs that include culinary arts, hospitality, and lodging. And then human services covers our programs that include everything from mental health, counseling and mental health, to our work and family studies. So we kind of have a wide gamut of things that we cover, and kind of fun to see the differences in the different parts of the programs. We do offer many industry certifications. Even in our middle school programs, we have things like first aid and CPR that a lot of our middle school students will get certified in. Also, food handlers is something that many of our younger students have as well. CDA is our Child Development Associates. We have that program or that opportunity in our technology center programs, especially our early care programs, but also we are working to establish a CDA program in our K-12 programs, which will allow those students to have that certification and be able to walk right into a position. Some of the others you can see are, ProStart aligns with culinary programs. The AAFCS is the American Association of Family and Consumer Sciences. They've developed many assessments that many states recognize those with industry. Oklahoma's they probably don't see that quite as much in Oklahoma, but we do still allow our students to take that, and it is something that shows that they do have those competencies. Family and Consumer Science programs empower students. It allows them to develop their leadership skills and things like that. It also strengthens communities. We are the only organizations, whether our CTSO or our programs, that focus on family. And we know that family is the core to everything that we do. So we hope that our teachers are working to develop students into having the skills that they need to be good members of families and communities. It also provides them skills for life and careers, and it helps create leadership positions for our students. This next slide, I'm going to brag on her for a minute because I know she won't do it. Brittany has had a very long career in family in FCCLA. She started as a student. She was a state and national officer. She's worked as state advisors for other states while living in Oklahoma. And a few years ago, six years ago now, I think, she came to the agency and has been just the piece that we needed to push FCCLA forward. We're very proud of having Brittany, and if you go to, and I'm sure Brent probably saw this when he went to nationals, Brittany is well known throughout the nation as being a leader in FCCLA. She's developed a lot of great programs that we've added just in the last few years, and many activities. Our students are so supported because she is very innovative, and we are just proud that she's ours. And so I wanted to brag on her because I know she's going to kind of brush over it probably here in a minute, that she was elected or she had been nominated and she was chosen as the State Advisor of the Year. So she's the top dog in the nation. We're pretty excited about that.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, good morning, everyone. I am Brittany Phillips. I'm the State Advisor for Oklahoma FCCLA, like Holly said. I could talk about FCCLA all day. I've been in it a long time, over half of my life, so I'm excited to be here and share information with you all. So, this year, let's see here, yay, we celebrated 80 years of FCCLA in Oklahoma. So we started out as the Future Homemakers of America. So some of you guys might have heard that. Became FCCLA in 1999. So we are still branding our name, even though we've been FCCLA a long time. So February 4th, 1946, when we actually became a state association. So we do want to recap our 80th convention video for you. And Blaine, you might have to play that from there.
Just hit the.
Oh, hit the next button. Day to celebrate 80 years for Oklahoma FCCLA. And we do have our impact report. I put it in front of you guys if you want to pull it out and go along with me. We have an amazing executive council this year. We have our 10 leaders up there on the screen. They represent students from schools in range of, you'll meet Tice here in a moment. He's at Edmond North, 6A schools to small schools like Timberlake. We even have Stephanie, who's from the School for the Blind. So we represent all types of students across the state. We're excited to have them. They're an awesome team this year. But I do want to brag on our membership this year. So for the first time ever, we have hit 28,258 members. This is the largest that Oklahoma has ever had. We're now officially the largest in the nation, and we're the largest by a lot too. So we've always had a friendly competition with Georgia and Texas. And this year we now have 3,000 more members than Georgia and 8,000 more members than Texas. So we got to celebrate that at this National Leadership Conference last week, and it was really exciting for us to see that. When I was a student, we typically had around 10 to 12,000. That's usually where we sat. I took over in June of 2020 when everyone said don't change jobs and make big changes. We did that. So we saw a dip in membership that year. We had 8,000, and we were thankful for those 8,000 because we were doing all the fun virtual COVID hybrid school. So now since 2020, we've actually gained 20,000 members. So it's really exciting. Also, things we want to note, we have 60% of our FCS students are members. So that's great. We're excited for that. However, our next goal is to get 75% of those students sitting in the FCS classrooms to be FCCLA members. So I think we're going to get there probably the next, hopefully 5 years, if not sooner. And then also, one more, I like statistics if you can't tell. One more fact, 10.5% of the nation's membership is here in Oklahoma. So we have 16 voting delegates at the national conference, which is a big deal. Some states just have one. So a lot of states come to us for guidance and support when it comes to different bylaw amendments or just anything that's going on the national level. And we are very humble and proud to be able to help them. The next thing, number-wise, we do have about 5,000 plus attendees that come to our state convention each year. For the next 5 years, our goal is to get anywhere from 7,000 to 8,000 and kind of get to where about 50% or more of our members are coming to state convention. And then also with all of our different competitions just here in Oklahoma, we served over 3,500 competitors this past year. That does not include the students that went to the National Leadership Conference. Also on the national level, we are very proud. We got to watch Tennyson Elrod Spears from Wright City, Oklahoma. He just finished his term as the National Vice President of Competitive Events. And then we got to cheer on Cooper Walker from Kingston, Oklahoma, as he was elected as the National Vice President of Development. So we have had a national officer the last 4 consecutive years, and we haven't done that in 10 years. So it's been nice to have this string of leadership coming through, and I know we're going to have even more in years to come. A couple of national honors, like Holly said, I got the National Advisor of the Year. Shelley Crawford from Grove was our National Spirit of Advising. We had several advisors that were recognized as Master Advisor. They went through a training process, and they are elite graduates. Karen Davis from Tulsa Tech and Trent Meshach are currently serving on the National Board of Directors, while Corey Seaman, who is also an alumni from Oklahoma FCCLA, just finished up his term. Then we had a new program that's the Member of the Year Award. They recognize the top 15 and the top 5, and they do name one Member of the Year. And Maddie Mueller from Colbert was one of the top 15 Member of the Year finalists. And also Maddie and Aaliyah's from Stillwater, they participated in the Say Yes to FCS signing ceremony, where we're trying to recruit and grow our own to become FCS educators. So we had a really great showing at the National Leadership Conference. A couple of other awards we had. Putnam City High School was the Go for the Red winner for their membership recruitment efforts. We had 2 students from Tulsa Tech in the fashion show, which is a really big deal for FCCLA. They take the top 20 students. They actually create and design their own fashion show pieces. So we had a dress, and then a gentleman had made jeans and like a hoodie. And then FCCLA, the showcase, they get to exhibit projects. Amber Pocassett was chosen. So as you can see, we have schools of all sizes that are represented and participate on the national level. When it comes to competitive event success, we had a lot. So we had 88 students from Oklahoma in the top 10 in the nation, bringing home 12 national champions and 16 national runners-up. Another statistic for you, 52% of our competitors ended up as top 10 on the stage. So we're really proud of that. We want to see that number grow. But knowing that at least half of our kids going out there are going to be top 10, that's pretty nice. And we have Sargon as our main competition. We also have skill demonstration events, which are they take place at the National Leadership Conference too. We did have 11 students top 10 in that one with 1 national champion. And then challenge tests, we actually take what they're learning in their FCS classroom from the Goodhart-Wilcox curriculum. When 14 students take that test, when students take that test, 14 of them were in the top 10 and 5 national champions. So we have some smarties in our classrooms. So we're excited for that. And then last, before you get to hear from Tice, like Holly said, we are the only CPSO that's dedicated to preparing students for careers that support the family. We know the family is the building block of society. If you want to have a strong community, you've got to have strong families in that community. So we have a couple of outreach projects that we've done this year. First, we had our alumni and associates. They did the very first Forever Red Gala, and we raised over $30,000 to endow some scholarships for our students to help with their further in their education. We're excited for that. What I'm most excited about, though, for this next 2 years, we choose an outreach project every 2 years, and we just finished an outreach project with what says the Global Service up there. We worked with the Pearl House in Ghana, Africa, and we helped build a home economics classroom in Ghana, Africa. And we do say home ec there. The U.S. is the only country that calls it Family Consumer Sciences. So we have a plaque with our name on it over there in Ghana, Africa, and those students are getting to be part of home ec. But our new outreach project is called Readers Are Leaders, and we know that literacy is very important. An educated society does well, so we're wanting to help make sure that Oklahomans are accessing books and literacy. So we're partnering with Oklahoma's Imagination Library for the next 2 years to raise funds to assist them. So our goal is to raise $25,000 to help with Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. We have all but 3 counties in Oklahoma are covered under that. So we have Logan, Noble, and Pawnee are still needing some funding for that, so that's our focus. And I've been working with Erin Bell with the Imagination Library in Oklahoma, and she said that every now and then, if all counties are covered, Dolly might make an appearance. So that's kind of our incentive right there, is to try to get Dolly here for Oklahoma FCCLA. She was an FHA member in Tennessee, so we're hoping that we can get her there. So knowing that our students are out making huge impacts in our communities and our state is very, very exciting. But to hear from an awesome student, we have Tice Myers with us today, and he is our state president for Oklahoma FCCLA. So I will get out of Tice's way and let him speak.
Hello and good morning, everyone. I'm Tice Myers, and I am going to be a junior at Edmond North High School this year, and I am proudly serving as the Oklahoma State President. If you would have asked me 5 years ago what I would be doing with my life today, it would not be this. When I walked into my very first Family and Consumer Sciences class and FCCLA meeting, I was there for one reason. It was food and field trips. I never imagined that this one decision would lead me to where I am today. I can proudly say that FCCLA has turned into an avenue for connections, opportunities, and growth that will last a lifetime. I've now served in over 10 positions at the local, district, and state level since I first began my journey in this organization, including as the Oklahoma Vice President of Public Relations last school year. Over the past 2 years, I've gotten to be a part of an incredible time of growth in Oklahoma FCCLA. I've had the opportunity to see our organization expand, reaching more students, chapters, and communities across our state. This year, Oklahoma FCCLA is proud to be the largest state delegation in the nation with over 28,000 student members. This achievement is a testament to our dedication of our members, advisors, and supporters who continue to believe in the power of CareerTech education and the opportunities that our organization provides. As we celebrate this milestone, we know that this is only the beginning. We are committed to continuing growth in our membership, expand opportunities for students, and achieve even greater things in the future. This is what led to the motto that I chose for myself at the beginning of the year: opportunities now, leaders forever. When every opportunity that we say yes to, whether it's attending your first chapter meeting, competing in a STAR event, running for office, or simply just stepping outside of your comfort zone, it's preparing us to be better versions of ourselves. Through every opportunity that I have experienced in FCCLA, I have learned that growth happens when we are willing to step outside of these comfort zones and take a chance on ourselves and on others. Looking back at my journey, I never could have imagined the impact this organization would have had on my life. Before joining FCCLA, I never saw myself standing in front of a room like this, sharing my story, or serving as the largest state delegation's state president. This organization challenged me to find my voice, develop my leadership skills, and realize that my actions have the ability to make an impact on others. One of the greatest impacts that FCCLA has had on me is the opportunity to build and foster relationships with people from our state and all across the nation. Over the past 5 years in this organization, I've made lifelong friendships with at least one person from all 50 states, as well as Puerto Rico and the American Samoa. And for that, I'm forever grateful. I also want to recognize the educators, advisors, and leaders within the Oklahoma CareerTech system who make these opportunities possible for students across our state. Because of FCCLA and CareerTech, students like me are given the opportunities possible to grow as leaders and to discover our passions and to become the difference makers of tomorrow. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my story with you today, and thank you for continuing to invest in students and programs that truly change lives. Do any of you have any questions today?
First of all, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All your leadership, that's great. What are your plans beyond high school?
Yeah, so after high school, I plan to go into the public service field. I'm planning to go to school at either University of Florida or Ole Miss and study in business and political science.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Maybe a question for you guys. Great job, but why do you think schools are wanting to add programs right now so rapidly?
I would say that people are, the schools and students are understanding that the skills that we teach are very important. And I always say that COVID helped us, honestly. That's where we really started seeing our growth, because those students were home and parents started realizing that they needed the skills that they were receiving from us. So, I think that was a big part of it.
Yeah, I think parents are pushing schools to add
Yes.
programs back. We went through a time, you guys remember when I was in high school, we were cutting programs
Absolutely.
across the state. And now they're recognizing that that was a mistake. We need these programs back.
And we have some large schools right now. In fact, we have one large school that added 2 new teachers this year because they have such a waiting list
Mhm.
for those students. And so we're really excited.
That's good.
Anything else?
When did you join? How old were you? And
I would have been 11 years old, so I was in 6th grade. We had a donut meeting for the first day of school.
Heck yeah.
And so I went, and then after my first meeting, I fell in love with it, and so I stuck with it.
great.
Awesome.
Anything else today?
Oh, no.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys
Thank
so
you.
much.
Pretty awesome to be leading the nation. Can't hardly beat that. Thank you, guys. Our
Hour
next-
of donuts.
Donuts. That's how I get board members here, you guys saw.
We've all fallen.
Brian, I need to apologize. Should have put you in front of students, but I put you behind students. Gino always says that's a bad idea. Sorry. Our next presentation is talking about our articulation agreements. You guys have been aware of that, but Brian Hall's been leading that. And I wanted you to hear from him of what's really happening so you can understand and share in your communities as well of the success that Brian has made possible. So Brian, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Director. Yes, it is hard to follow a well-spoken young man like that. I appreciate that. My name is Brian Hall. I'm a credentialing specialist with our CareerTech Testing Center here at the agency. We, for over 40 years, our division has provided services of standards and assessments that have been given throughout our CareerTech programs. We do a lot of licensure and certifications through our different state agency partners. We do very much in the way of credentialing with our assessments and work keys assessments that we offer through our tech centers, and digital badging free for all of our full-time program students. So we're definitely a service division as well as many in this agency. And in that line, we were really seeking to reach out and create some relationships and some connections with higher ed to maybe bridge the gap, if you will, our program completers and our students that come out of our CareerTechs with such great training and such awesome certifications. Why wouldn't that be worth something in higher ed? So along that lines,
Blaine's gonna be.
okay.
There you go.
So just a little background, those in the agency that are much longer in the tooth than I have said that there have been other articulation agreement opportunities and attempts, and some of those have fallen through based on just maybe they just fell apart, never got to fruition, or whatever the case. But when tasked with trying to create relationships with higher ed and the higher institutions, just looking around, found this article. Back in 2020, an Associate Applied Science and Applied Technology program was piloted by Tulsa Community College. Went through the regents, got passed. It was to establish an online opportunity for those in the workforce that maybe went out into the workforce after the CareerTech completion, did really well, but never had the opportunity to go back and get that degree. And this was really piloted to offer that degree option for working adults and as well as CareerTech completers. 1 year later, you see there 10, 11 other colleges, Carl Albert, Eastern, Murray, all those that you see there, they all came to the higher regents and wanted to do the same program, make it statewide. Down at the bottom, I highlighted that because the fact that talks about completing the degree through having program completion, industry credential, statewide, all that online, all that really leads to an opportunity to convert that technical training into college credit. So that article to me, really posed, there's an appetite out there. So we find this, the Higher Regions Strategic Plan, Blueprint 2030. Looking at that, as you look inside that, back in 2022 in the State of State address, Governor Stitt had mentioned how Oklahoma lags compared to the nation. As you can see there, with an associate's degree or higher, we're lagging 12 percentage points behind the nation. Seeing the opportunity to increase the educational aspirations of our citizens and be a more educated state, that's going to help with not only attracting businesses, it's going to help workers increase their pay, increase their status if they want to become managers, things like that in their different fields. And you can see in that second chart, I'm sorry this is so small, it won't be that small, but the associate's degree, that shows basically over the next 10 years, 21 to 31, there's going to be a higher actual percentage rate increase of jobs that need at least an associate's degree or higher, that 8.8. I thought that was kind of interesting in comparison to the bachelor's and no degree at all. So here we are with another mention of an associate's degree. So then we go on further into their strategic plan, Blueprint 2030. Down there, number 7, remove all the barriers to enrollment. Up at the very top, basically it talks about increasing the opportunity for those students to have that transferability, if you will, of their learning. But number 9 down at the bottom, promote timely credential completion. When I started there, basically in their strategic plan, Higher Regions are wanting to offer that opportunity for program completion, technical training, industry credential, have that converted to college credits. And then there's our plan, our strategic plan. And as you look in that, theme number 6, we're wanting to fully realize and strengthen credit transferability, articulation agreements, institutional alignment, complementary. Look at all those words that mean connections and relationships and working together. And I think we see that system-wide, that acceptance. So that's another point that we're wanting to work with higher ed. So in looking at this article, you see those 10 or 11 colleges, an email was fashioned, it was sent out. Several responded with, sounds great, we'll look into it, things like that. But one came back with a little bit more of a catch, Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology, OSUIT. Now I do have to give credit to Jennifer Palacio, Jessica Ventris, our Director of Academic Affairs, Director Haken. I think they probably baited the hook a little bit with this prior to the email because they had worked with Provost Dr. Rhonda Vanderslice and kind of got this started with some crosswalks and some looks at that. But Dr. Bart Collins, the Director of Strategic Partnerships, came back with a pretty strong, we want to do this. And he had CC'd some higher provosts and vice president of academic affairs on that, so we kind of got started. So basically the articulation agreement was established to make a standardized process for awarding this credit for an Associate of Applied Science and Applied Technology degree through both the OSUIT campus and OKC campus. Wanting to simplify it, basically program completion, industry credential attainment, those two parts will equal credit. Now it is, I will say, this is a very, it's applying only to this applied science, applied technology degree. It's normally a terminal degree. It's one that doesn't really transfer into a lot of Bachelor of Technology, but we've also seen that that is actually possible in OSUIT and OKC. They have a Bachelor of Information Technology that this can be a stair step into, as well as other colleges I've looked into have bachelors of some sort of applied technology that this can stair step into. It provides all this good statewide consistency, transferability, auditability, and the government, just the compliance of the higher regions. Now I will say that a lot of this is out there in other colleges, those 10 or 11 that we looked at, they have that buried somewhere in their course catalog, but it just has become obsolete. It's not used. That's why in contacting a lot of them, they eyebrows raised. They say, hey, we can maybe do something with this. But with OSUIT, OKC, we started with our assessment list is over 1,200 assessments, whether they be micro-credential, certification, licensures. There was a filtering process. It took a while. Shout out to Anna Smith from IMD. Now she's with finance, but I've never seen so many Excel sheets sent that had different things filtered. But props to her and everybody that Jennifer I know is big in helping to dissect those Excel sheets. But basically in that filtering process, removed a lot of internal tests, general safety tests, got it down to 224 industry recognized credentials. Of those, there were some that OSUIT and OKC flagged that they had, typically not degree-based OSHA trainings, things that are not really, competency, certification, occupancy, or occupational level certification. So we kind of got down to this list of 200 defensible credentials they thought they could take to the regions. Those 200 credentials mapped in the same 11 categories that the Regents Show What You Know website has. The Show What You Know website is a great website. It offers a lot of information, but in a very convoluted way. And we were trying to get to a point of just, I got this, what's it worth? And that's where we got down to these 200 credentials. 102 of them were already being accepted by Tulsa Community College, Redlands, OCCC, Rose State, and others. But a lot of those were being accepted from tech centers that were right next to them, in close proximity. Kaimichi Poto and Carl Albert share a parking lot. I mean, they were working together pretty well. Our goal was to get it statewide. Doesn't matter what CareerTech you come from, you're bringing this credential and this completion, it can go for this AAS degree. I won't bore you with this. The final file basically contains those that are endorsed, the standard setting organizations, not self-certified, just very specific things that make them assessments and certifications that would be industry aligned and credentials that were, in the higher Regents' mind, worth college credit.
So these are individual credits that can be taken out of Career Center that can be then used to further a degree of some kind at a college, specifically in the state.
Yes, ma'am.
So all of the public catalogs for everything that our colleges in this state offer are public,
Yes.
which means all of that could be dumped into chat and overlaid with this to create career plans that they could use that we know for sure would be transferable because it would say so in their own catalog, and then we could use the research that we've done.
And that's what they're simplifying, is they're having that kind of upfront and forward facing that, hey, you're already getting these 24 credits if you have that. Things like so.
Because I know that like the biggest problem, frankly, is just telling them what they've already said out loud and then them going, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Love it.
So, as far as criteria for eligibility, a student's eligible for this block credit. Pretty simple. If they have a credential attainment. For OSUIT and OKC, the credential needs to be from their inventory list, which I'll show you in a minute. But that's on their approved list that they've given us that's, specific, I guess you could say. IT has about 180. OKC has about 150. Okay, that are specific to what they're going to allow this credit to be. And then secondly, CareerTech program completion. A student that's completed one of our CareerTech programs associated with the credential. So if you've got a welding credential, you need to complete a welding program. A culinary arts credential and a welding program doesn't match, so they've got to match. So that's the alignment. And then they have to be admitted to the actual institution and the applied technology degree program. The model is pretty simple. The credential gets the eligibility for the credit. The amount of credit is based on your program hours. Documented contact hours divided by 40 gives you the amount of credit. Basically, I have to shout this out to as well. Whoever, and I know there was a lot that were involved in getting things standardized here through our programs, the frameworks being standardized, the hours for the program completion being standardized, that was big. Because I think before all this, the hours were all over the place, 500, 700, 1,210, whatever. I mean, but being the fact that a 1-year program is 480 hours and a 2-year program is 960 hours, and that's division-wide, program-wide, and these credentials, that really helped kind of simplify the process and make it where it could be simple. You can see there, Tulsa Community College, they offer up to 42 block credits. Redlands 24 to 42. All of them are doing the same thing with the divide by 40 rule. They've all contacted us and verified that, so that's why I put that on that slide. How it works is basically, I'll just go with that last one, CMA, that's a certified medical assistant. They go through the medical assisting program, 600 instructional hours. 600 divided by 40 is 15 credits, as long as they have that CMA, which is basically that AAMA is, I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but it's a very nationally known, industry recognized credential. As long as they have that, they apply, they get the credit. Now, I will say that.
Can I ask you one more question? I'm so sorry.
No.
Now that I am seeing this and understanding it a little better, is this similar to, it used to be like you could use a room in your house to write off on taxes for an office, but now because of that court case in New York where the apartment was too small, they just do 300 square feet and they don't care what 300 square feet it is?
Mm-hmm.
Is that, or you're still saying that the classes have to be exactly the same? Okay, so you are saying
if they have the certificate, they get the credits based on.
So it doesn't have to. It can be a little bit looser, which I think is a good thing to clarify.
We tightened up what Brian's saying is we tightened up what the schools are offering within their framework.
Yeah.
So there wouldn't be just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But it still has a lot of local build out.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
In the
I'm getting
framework
that now.
line, there's different classes that programs can choose from as far as what order.
Mm-hmm.
But in giving these institutions that kind of information, they've looked at it and they said, yes, we can adopt that. We can be okay with that.
Great. Love it.
So basically, as far as required documentation for a student that has a desire to increase their educational attainment with an associate's applied science degree, they need their transcript. Now, one thing about the transcript, which I know that's not always the word to use with the CareerTech's, maybe it's program completion document, I don't know, but the state program name, the date of enrollment, completion status, and the documented contact hours are going to have to be on that transcript or that document. Proof of industry credential, copy of the certificate, could be in a frame, doesn't matter, they'll take it. The digital badge from Credly that we offer for free for a lot of our tests that are even in-house. But most of the industry known credentials go through Credly for these digital badges. They'll even take that, which I thought was nice. They do have to fill out a credit award request form at the institution, whether it's OKC or IT campus, and they have to have a credential verification by a staff member on each of those campuses that will make sure that that credential aligns with the program. But other than that, that's what they need to apply. That's awesome. Very small, can't see this. This is something that was sent to us from Oklahoma State IT and OKC. This is their credential list. Now, it's about 12 pages long. It's put in alphabetical order. I'm not going to walk up there to get off camera, but you can probably see that first one on the left side, the welder certification. It has the certification number that's off our approved list. Kind of has all the stats out there to the side and shows you the hours that it would be worth and the prefix that it would be put under on the IT or OKC's transcript.
So Shay, your earlier question, this is done for them already. They don't have to overlay it anymore.
Great. Love it.
And that credential lookup, there's a couple of different forms. There's an Excel form. There's this form that we're putting out for, ink is dried now, but this was just probably a couple weeks ago that this really came to fruition of yes. So we're getting this out to the counselor. The counseling division has done great to get that out for us as far as the division managers and so forth. They also have a student parent overview sheet that's going out that kind of explains the whole process, what they need. It's just a one pager front and back. It kind of talks about that and has contact information, which I think is important on the back page that I didn't snip and put on this. Shout out to Brian Richter, one of our graphic designers, made this for us to kind of be something we could at least put out as a flyer that showed some of what's going on with this. We'll probably end up putting a QR code or something on something like that that would send them right to a link on a website, which by the way, OSU is supposed to be getting a website to us this week. Not holding that, through the fire, but I mean, if they can get that to us quick, that'll be something to be able to just send someone to their link. We'll have something on our agency link as well. Connors, had some good conversations with them. They also are doing this statewide, divide by 40. Of course, the math's a little different. A 480 program, which is a 1-year program, is going to be worth 16 hours of credit. A 960 or 2-year program is going to be worth, I can't see that, but is it for, sorry.
You're not on camera.
Oh, you can.
I'm not on camera? So 960, worth 30, excuse me. So it's not 24, it's worth 30 hours. Okay. I forgot I had this. But anyway, I just snipped. I mean, Connors has every program we have. BMIT, FACS. I mean, they don't have as many ag because most of it's high school classes, but they've got science, technology, STEM, T&I, health. They've got every program, and man, it's 16 to 30 hours of just solid credit. It's just contacting. Redlands is another one. I'm sorry, again, that's small. I'm not on camera. Okay. They offer 18 of these options. All of them you see 24, 30, 25 credit hours. Again, most of the time they're dealing with Canadian Valley. They want to go statewide. So block credit awarded on verification of successful completion. They're divided by 40 to get all that. Any tech center. Redlands is also, this is big for our TNIs, basic police officer training. I mean, that's going to be something that could be an opportunity for them to get an associate's degree, associate applied science degree, excuse me. Redlands has a nice web page. This is kind of under the CareerTech degree programs. Each one of those, you just click on graphic design or computer programming, and it kind of gives you basically the degree plan. All of them are going to have your 12 to 18 gen ed classes, and then you've got whatever credits you have, and then there's going to be just elective type courses that are going to be, I don't want to say filled in, but they're going to be part of the option area or that area of expertise that the student has. NOC, again, their industry certification option, right there, they're giving us 15 to 45 hours. I mean, he's talked to him the other day. I mean, anybody, not just Pioneer Tech or not just Autry or not just Meridian, he'll go statewide. Anybody over in Northwest Tech and Fairview and is it Alba? Mm-hmm. Fairview and Alba, Woodward, any of those areas out west, doesn't matter. We'll take it. A lot of it's just promoting. So as we go back to this initial article that kind of started the digging, really Carl Albert, Eastern, those that are underlined, those have all at least been contacted and they've shown interest. It's just kind of getting on board with, they're worried about the higher regents and the okay of that. I think the bridge that has been started with OSUIT and OKC is going to be one that really starts the trail across the cavern, if you will, getting more of this accepted and statewide. And that's the biggest part, is the statewide, because, if, especially, maybe I failed to mention this, but I mean, all of these are 100% online. You don't have to go to Warner and be at Connor State if you don't want to. You can do it online. Somebody may want the college experience and go to a campus and live there and whatnot, but I see it as really big for, you know, student athletes that can transfer in with credits in tow. A lot of these colleges have sports programs and whatnot as well, but all those are on the docket to hopefully come into play, as well as other colleges. I mean, SWASU, Southwestern Oklahoma State University, is contact, you know, just a simple email. We're in the process of getting 4 health-related credit awards going. They're going to be like medical technology, surgical technology, EMS, medical coding. They're wanting to give big credit to get students in. They want degree completers, and we're providing some really great, well-trained, highly certified students that can come into these programs, and they've already got a pathway and vision they can see. And if it's halfway there to an associate's degree, I mean, wow, what an opportunity. Right? But I'll end with this. I mean, again, with providing the students and institutions, the state. I mean, this is something great to be able to work with higher ed and not be in competition. A lot of our students go in the workforce and have great lives, wonderful. But what about the person that 5 year out? They want to be a manager. They want to increase their pay. They just need an associate's degree. All of these colleges have said it doesn't matter if it's 5 or 10 years ago. If they can bring the credential and they can bring the program completion, if they were CareerTech program completers, we'll give that same credit to them. Okay, and I mean, look at Bryce over there. I mean, the kind of students that are coming out of our programs are just highly skilled, highly trained. I've taught school for 34 years, and every year those juniors and seniors that found their way in the CareerTech system came back. Even though freshmen in physical science and biology, they were hard to discipline and hard to teach, they come back with a focus and a vision of their future. And I feel like those are the kind of students, especially going into these universities, they're going to be salivating over.
For sure. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
What questions do you guys have?
It's a big deal. Thank you.
So I love what you're doing. This has kind of been a little pet
Well, it's
project.
a team process.
On the side here, I've researched a lot of this and was fortunate enough to join the governor going over to Switzerland to see kind of their program on what they're doing, with internships, and that they treat college and high school and middle school completely differently than we do. Yeah. And so, the glaring thing which you've alluded to is Maine OSU and Maine OU are not participating. Mm-hmm. And I've been told by several people, well, that they just won't go for that. And the hint wasn't so much that it was the regents, it was that it was professors. But I'm seeing a little bit of the dam break here, and I think CareerTech provides tremendous value, and I think that's what parents and taxpayers and even a lot of these other colleges you're talking about are starting to see is like there's real value here, right? Like I would much rather have someone who has been through welding training or how to repair an airplane than 3 classes of underwater basket weaving. No offense to the basket weavers, but so I think we're trying to figure out, like, for decades we were told that a bachelor's degree has value, and then maybe it was COVID or whatever, but the parents are kind of waking up going, I don't know what my child learned in 4 years, but I saw several classes that weren't valuable and didn't advance towards a meaningful career path. So having said all that, my question is, do you have a theory on what the reluctance is at the bigger universities? Like, why would you not want to participate in a program that because it seems to me a third of the classes that a lot of these kids are getting for a bachelor's degree are not helpful. I mean, they're just not contributing. And so why wouldn't you replace that third or half with a certification? And then maybe those kids can experience the college experience. Maybe they, want to be, in some sort of social system, or they want to play football or whatever. Because it's my thought that a lot of our kids are choosing not to go to college now. They might want to, they'd like to, but they're like, I could go get my pilot's license and be making over $100,000 before I'm 23. So I think that's the disconnect. But what I don't understand is why would the bigger schools not want this? And so you've obviously done a lot of research. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I really can't figure that part out.
Well,
Because they're not agile. Because they can't make that change. Because it takes 150
Right.
people in the same room at the same time to make one decision, and everyone knows it's impossible.
Yeah.
Is that the answer?
well, one, I think monetarily, there's.
Sorry, I've never worked with bigger
Yeah.
corporations as a small company trying to sell them anything. Just kidding.
To your point with the professors, and I really feel like that's true. I think they feel like if they don't teach the content, then it's not getting learned their way, so to speak. And a lot of these electives that are the fill-in, I guess you could say, these applied associate degrees, they may come in with the 12 to 18 gen eds and 30 hours. They need to get maybe 18 more hours. Those electives, those are just kind of, like you said, they're just getting that degree hour up to a point. But I think a lot of it may be some of that reluctance for the higher ed institutions, the professors, because that list is that way because OSUIT and OKC had to have professor verification, if you will, of those credentials that, yes, we would accept that because we teach that area, that program. So a lot of it has to do with maybe that connection. I think, I hope not unpolitically right, but I mean, I think there's monetary issues as well, as far as if we give them 30 hours, that's 30 hours that we may not get money for, A lot of
Or that
these,
student may not be there at all anyway.
Right.
So they should look at it like that.
yeah, absolutely, and that's the point. I mean,
Well, and their student base is shrinking. So when you talk about money, it is about money to some degree. It's like most of enrollments are down. What do I gotta do?
Yeah.
I need to allow more people to come to my school so I can get paid for that. I mean, it's a business decision. A good one, because the great thing is that we're growing towards our kids or CareerTech kids having that opportunity to get that education.
So
Or further their education they want to.
one of the reasons that we've taken this route, Brian's done a great job of going where we can have wins and successes first, is because my first year or so, we started down a route with other institutions, and we'd get interest, and then they would take it back to their professor group, and they're like, that's not biology, that's not anatomy, that's not how we teach it, and it's dead at that point. And so we had to start somewhere where we can see, okay, the credential is what matters. That individual got the credential. Why do we care how they got there? So we've had great success with starting there, and I think, like you used an illustration earlier, that we're building a bridge now that I think soon they will recognize if we want students at all, we better play ball. So I think we'll get there soon.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian.
Great job.
Yeah. A lot of good things happening. We have great team members working, whether it's program side or if it's in our service division. So thank you both for presenting. Both groups did a great job. We'll move on to our item in management action items 3.01. I don't think I skipped it. Discussion and possible action on the mid-year personnel report and ratification of personnel actions from January 1 through June 30th, 2026. Dallas here to talk to us about that. Thanks, Raquel.
Thanks for having me. I am Raquel Parli. I am the HR manager for our amazing HR team. We have wonderful people that are working behind the scenes that none of this would be possible without them. So I want to give a shout out to Colton Duncan, Leanne Gregory, and Rebecca Clapp. With them, we have probably 45 plus years of tenure here at the agency. So they do an amazing job, and I'm super proud to be a part of them. The personnel report that I have given to you in the board report is not super exciting, but what is exciting is the people that are involved in this. It's hard to recruit. It's hard to recruit anywhere right now in the state of Oklahoma, but we have added wonderful people, some of them here in this room, to our staff, and I'm super excited about them. They have a passion for what we do, and I am thrilled to keep adding wonderful people to our teams and have presented to you the promotions, the transfers, the hires. You met a couple of the retirees back a couple of board meetings ago, so we have an amazing team here. So I'm proud to be a part of it. Like I said, it's not exciting, but the people behind the names are exciting.
Who
So
doesn't
you
like
guys
a
have,
good spreadsheet?
what's that?
Spreadsheets are exciting, right?
Woo!
Lisa?
So do you guys have any questions about the report?
We will need, once you look at it, a motion to approve, but take your time, ask questions if you've got them.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the report as presented. Any discussion? Ashley, will you call for a vote?
Michael Brown,
Yes.
Peter Dillingham.
Yes.
Shaylin Hanning,
Yes.
Leonard McCullough,
Yes.
Rob Seaman,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right, thank you, Ashley.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raquel. Item 3.02 is very simple, discussion and possible action to approve Tulsa Tech Riverside Campus as our location. We did verify that that would work for them. It is November the 19th, 2026. Is there any questions or a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All right, Ashley, call for a vote.
Rob Seaman,
Yes.
Leonard McCullough,
Yes.
Shaylin Hanning,
Yes.
Peter Dillingham.
Yes.
Michael Brown,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Item 3.03, discussion and possible action to adopt the draft emergency rule and rule impact statement, including but not limited to the following. I'll let you read those items, and we're gonna have Gina present to us. She has, did you get everyone a
Yeah,
copy?
I did.
Okay, everybody should have a copy
Okay.
now that
They're
has
very
color.
similar, but.
So you should be able to see that in your packet, where the highlights
He's
are.
passing out the highlights.
Oh, yeah. The other ones were black and white, a little harder to see, so these will be easier. Go ahead, Gina.
Okay, well, good morning. It's great to have you guys here in Stillwater at the agency. I'll talk to you a little bit about adopting these emergency rules. An unfortunate chain of events resulted in this chapter not being approved during the legislative session. And unfortunately, the only remedy is to file an emergency rule so that these can be in place prior to or as close to possible for the school year. So these were all approved by you in the fall, with the exception of the highlights. And so that's why you have the yellow highlight there. Want to be sure that when we're talking about our student organizations, that it is clear that the K-12 comprehensive school programs are the ones that are required to participate in specific student organizations. And so you'll see that highlighted throughout A, 3, and 4. And then on the health organization, theirs is worded a little bit differently, but we want to make sure that it's clear that it has to be department approved student organizations. So the next change is clear over on page 4. You'll see H 2 and 3. The previous version, this is new language, so there was no reason to strike and then add, so I took out the words trade and industrial education on 2 and 3, because those two statements really apply to all programs, not just trade and industrial. So obviously we want appropriate technology and that makes sure that they are following policies and guidelines. So previously it was just focused on one division, so we changed that so that it covers all. And then I believe the last one is on the next to the last page, really just saying that the student organizations that are listed there with their mission are the department approved student organizations. And so once in a while there'll be an idea to use a different student organization, but we want to make sure that they're following the approved ones by our agency and our divisions that align with our programs. And so those are the minor changes since you looked at these this fall. And we will file this emergency rule after your vote with the governor's office, and it'll take 45 days. Well, he has 45 days to approve or disapprove the rule. I don't see any concerns. They've been previously approved by the governor's office, as well as the Rules Committee. Representative Kendricks chairs that committee. We had lots of conversation during the legislative session as well. So I don't see any barriers, but I'll entertain any questions.
Did it just fall through the cracks?
Well, it's a long. If you'd like me to go through the chain
Oh, no.
of events,
I don't want to know that.
yeah.
It was omitted.
There were a lot of factors that impacted it along the way, and so unfortunately, the way the OAR Office of Administrative Rules system works after February 1st, and then with a shortened legislative session, there was no remedy for fixing an error, and so this is the road we have to go down.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion around the items? Okay, Ashley, call for a vote.
Michael Brown,
Yes.
Peter Dillingham.
Yes.
Shaylin Hanning,
Yes.
Leonard McCullough.
Yes.
Rob Seaman,
Yes.
motion carries.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
That'll be great. Get that cleaned up. Item 3.04. Discussion and possible action regarding the appointment of Brent Meeks to the position of Chief Operating Officer. And we have the opportunity for a proposed executive session, if that would be the pleasure of the group, and would entertain whatever the group would like to do. If you'd like to go into an executive session, you could talk to me, you could talk to Brent, whatever you would like to do. If you'd like to just move forward with appointment, that's really up to you guys.
What do we feel like, gentlemen?
Wouldn't hurt to have discussions if you want to.
I mean, does this require our board approval?
It does. It's above a pay band 17, so it will require board approval for that appointment.
The committee we formed endorsed the decision.
Yeah. So
Well, we've been trying to get you in this position for
yeah.
since you worked here, basically. So.
Yeah. Yes. So we did have a committee of 4 that has been working on this, went through the job description, the pay band, all those things. Was updated on the process as I went through advertising, selection, narrowing down interviews, all that. So, and the committee approved that decision. So it'd really be up to you guys how you want to move forward.
I we move forward with it.
Okay. Yeah, without executive session?
Without executive session.
Move to
Second.
approve the position. Okay, and I have a second. Scott, are you good with that? Okay, good.
Yeah, as long as everyone's good with.
Sounds good.
Three of the 5 of us were on that committee, and we spent a lot of time. It was a great process, and
Yes,
it's with that background that I make the motion.
No, absolutely. I just wanted to make sure that we had recorded right and we were not going to executive session. Good. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, Ashley, I'll let you call for a vote.
Rob Seaman,
Yes.
Leonard McCullough.
Yes.
Shaylin Hanning,
Yes.
Peter Dillingham,
Yes.
Michael Brown,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right, thank you all.
Yay.
Congratulations, Brent.
Congratulations, Brent. And Brian.
Yeah.
I can see the twinkle in your eye already.
That's gonna be fun. Just need to find a few more Brents to hire.
With that, I'm taking a month off.
It'd be interesting if people call. Oh, Brent's not here. Do you want Brent?
Oh.
Item 4, new business. The consideration of possible action of new items. I don't have any. Anyone have any new business?
No, sir.
All right. Item 5 is adjournment. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ashley, I'll let you call for a vote.
Okay. Michael Brown,
Yes.
Peter Dillingham.
Yes.
Shaylin Hanning,
Yes.
Leonard McCullough,
Yes.
Rob Seaman,
Yes.
All right. Thank you all.
I have a point of interest real
Yeah.
quick, which I shared with you yesterday. The Pentagon, Department of War, wrote a check for $10 million to Mike Rowe for, for
So
training,
exciting.
skilled training. So,
He's the dirty jobs guy. Everyone knows,
so-
right?
which, you know,
I'm a
you
huge
had,
fan.
you had podcast with him or interview with him,
Yeah.
He's a huge
but
Oklahoma
it's
fan.
just another, item of proof that,
Yeah.
you know, career tech and training like what we're doing is
pretty awesome.
needed. Yep.
Huge.
Especially in the defense world.
Yeah, when he was here and I got to talk with him, two of the recipients from Oklahoma, actually, we all got to sit down together. That was pretty neat. Yeah, so hopefully more and more of our people will continue to apply for that scholarship. It's great. Thank you guys all for making time to be here. Safe travels back.
All right.